Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. If you didn't see my video on the crispy donut community Salem, yeah, you heard me, the CDC, and we're not talking about diseases here. We're talking about knives that are functional, well-built, have good materials, and you can also get fun scales because every knife doesn't have to be super serious. Why so serious? But crispy Crispy Donut community, they have new ones out, and I'm going to show them to you right now. We're not going to take too long to do it, but I absolutely love the Salem. So definitely go check that video out. You're going to enjoy that. But besides the joy of carrying a knife, there's also EDC, which is everyday carry. Everyday carry knives and gear. They have tons of swag, more swag and stickers and patches you can shake a stick at. I'll put a picture up on the screen here just to give you a little taste of what you can get on their website. Now, the first one we're gonna check out, matter of fact, I have two versions. I have one and Mrs. Beez has one. Mrs. Beez has the blue and I have the sprinkles because I'm like kind of digging the sprinkle action. It's hard for somebody to be mad about you having a knife out when it has donut sprinkles on it. Now, wait till you see what there is to know about this knife. There's 5 different G10 handle configurations. You could get the sprinkles in all black or blue, or you could get either one of these versions, or you could get this blacked out. You could get this in black. And check out this blade. You ready? Pow! Right in the kisser. Yeah, check this out. That, my friends, is a hollow ground blade. And ooh, it is so thin behind the edge. A little bit of compoundness going on here at the tip. You gotta have a nice strong tip, you know what I'm saying? But let's take a trip all the way down the knife. Very nice. I believe this is gonna be probably a PVD coating. And then you have a tiny bit of room for sharpening here before you get to the plunge grind. Not a whole lot. A little bit of jip going up on here. We'll check out the Ergos here in just a second. Very nice thumb studs. And then you have a little bit of jips back here, which you can see I've got some stuff in them already. But there's jimping, and this right here is very grippy, almost aggressive. We'll check that out in a second. And here's a little bit of texture vision. Everybody likes a little bit of texture, and it's very nice, very nice. And you have a filler tab, and look at this. It's a reversible deep carry clip. It's inset into the liners. They're checking all the boxes. No mushrooms growing in the shade to worry about. And you do have a lanyard hole for all you lanyard lovers out there. It has an internal stop pin, which is very cool. It has jimps on the back of the handle, recessed liners. And if you're wondering about the size of this knife, well, I'm gonna tell you. From tip to tip, it's 7 inches right on the nose. Your sharpen length's 2.8 inches, and it is lightweight. It comes in at 3.25 ounces. And I'm very impressed with how thin. It is a thin, lightweight knife, and check it out. The fact that the recessed liners are in there, it's slimming it down for you. It has good lockup, it has good centering, and check this out. Look at those tolerances. That is very impressive. The amount of space that's on each side of that blade is very minute. Now, the Jipper Tab would be a slight nitpick in my opinion. I would say make smaller jimping and wrap it around the flipper. That way I don't have the opportunity for my finger to slip off and jam into this aggressive jimping on the top of the scales. This does have some aggression to it, but it is very snappy. It has a good detent. Whether you're using the flipper or you're using the thumb stud, you can push button it. So all you have to do is push down and it goes pow right in the kisser. It comes flying out with the Thor tie. Now, as far as your Ergos, my hand's 4 inches from here to here, 3.5 from here to here, and from the bottom of my palm to the tip of my middle finger is 7.25. The Ergos are very nice, very nice. They fit very nicely. This is gonna make a great everyday carry knife for all the everyday carry tasks that you have. The jimping is, look at this. The jimping is, they moved it out. See, you don't have jimping here. You don't have it here where you don't need it. A lot of times a knife company will put the jimping up front, but I put my thumb out here. Look at that. My thumb lands right on the jimpy jimps, and they do help. Now, if you were to hold your knife way back, far back here for some reason, the jimping back here actually gives me a better grip than the jimping on the blade does. So that is the CDC Hansen. Now wait until what I'm getting ready to show you right now. Okay, maybe not this very second. I almost forgot to tell you, this is D2 steel, and these run about 60 bucks. I'll look it up and put their website in the description if you want to go check them out. And since I'm so good at getting ahead of myself, here it is next to the QSP Penguin. Everybody's got to have a Penguin, right? So look at that. It's almost like it's the best of both worlds. I have them back to back. So the blades are like opposites. Check it out. So if you want to have one blade that has some belly and is upswept, and then you have the other blade with the Penguin, check that out. That would be a great combo. But these are both about the same size and about the same weight. Now, are you ready for this bad boy? This one is wicked. Oh yeah. And of course, I went with these sprinkles. I have a password for you to get 15 bucks off of this bad boy. I will have that password pinned in the link in the pinned comment in the comment section and in the video. This is the CDC, pow, right in the kisser. That's actually not the name of the knife. This is the Crispy Donut Community CDC Chicago. Would you look at that? I mean, just look at it, that wickedness of that blade. It's kind of a drop pointy spear point, compound grind with a hollow grind. They mixed a little bit of everything in there. You have plenty of piercing power. Oh my gosh, here we go. You have jipping up here, you have jipping back here, and they've said that they are going to soften this jipping just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, because the jipping is quite aggressive on this one here. And I believe this one might or might not be a prototype. Check that out. S35VN, baby. And this knife is really up my alley. This one has the thumb studs and the flipper for deployment. It has excellent action. And look at this, the jimping. Very, very good jimping on the Chicago. The only drather I would have is wrap the jimping at least up to here. Just have it go around so I don't have any misses or slide offs. But man, once your finger hits that first jip, it grabs and ooh, yeah, it's coming out with the authority. The reverse grip is very comfortable with this knife. Ooh, yeah, and something else, check this out. Besides having a captive pivot with the ceramic bearings, it has a T9 for your pivot and then T8 body screws, which is absolutely phenomenal. It is a frame lock and you have a steel lock bar insert, which is very nice, very, very nice. It has a good lockup. It is centered. It is a nice, strong blade, and the ergos on this are fantastic. Now, your size-wise, from tip to tip, it's 8.08 inches. You have a 3.3 inch sharpen length, and then it weighs everything's threes. It weighs 3.95 ounces, so it's less than 4 ounces. And because of the length, when you have a knife that's 8 inches or so, and it only weighs 3.95 or 4 ounces, it's evened out. You can't even tell that it weighs 4 ounces. And here is what it looks like next to the QSP Penguin. And since we're putting some of them up, here is the Hansen. Now you have to realize the camera's at a slight angle, but it's not gonna be that far off. And while we're at it, how about this? We'll put up the Salem. Would you just look at all the sprinkles? But I really do enjoy the fact that you can have fun with your knife collecting. You know, there's only so many different colors and variations of your knives. On this side, you have the classy titanium, and then on this side, you have a little bit of fun. And you know, if you have this, you pull this knife out of your pocket, it's just hard to think of that as the W word when it has sprinkles on it. But back to this knife, it has great action, great ergos, it is solid left and right, solid up and down. I like everything about this one too. And in case I forgot to mention it, yes, it is S35VN, baby. So it's Primo steel. These have Primo materials for that one and for this one. And then you have this one that the budget model, these run only about 60. So if you want to get a budget lightweight carry, then you could go with the Hansen, or you could stack it up. You could stack it up a notch and get a Chicago. I, of course, will have links in the description and in the comments where you could go check them out for yourself and maybe get in on the early bird deals, the early bird specials. Share this video with a friend that's into knives or likes knives and EDC gear. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's next on Beez Blades. Go watch this video. You're really going to enjoy that. And until I see you again in the live or the chats or at the Hive stream on Friday night, remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.